What if you weren't in the cosmos, but were a miniature of the entire manifested totality? What if each breath, each heartbeat, each thought crossing your mind were a mirror of the tapestry of existence itself? This isn't poetry. It's not metaphor. It's applied physics. And one man dedicated his life to proving it mathematically. His name was Itzhak Bentov, and he wasn't a dreamy mystic. He was an inventor with dozens of medical patents, a scientist who thought in equations and experimented with precision instruments. Bentov applied the principles of quantum mechanics, systems theory, and bioengineering to demonstrate something spiritual traditions had been whispering for millennia. You are not an isolated part of the cosmos looking outward. You are the entire cosmos, compressed into human form, observing itself through human eyes. Bentov conducted rigorous experiments measuring brain waves, cardiac resonances, and energy patterns traversing the human body. He discovered these patterns weren't random. They mirrored exactly the same frequencies, the same rhythms, the same proportions found in galaxies spinning through deep space, in atoms vibrating at subatomic scales, in ocean tides responding to the moon. What Bentov proved wasn't that everything is connected, but something far more radical. There is no everything. There is only one thing manifesting in trillions of different forms, and you are one of those forms. What made Bentov unique among researchers of his era was his refusal to separate the scientific from the experiential. While other scientists treated the human body as a biological machine disconnected from its environment, Bentov saw the organism as a resonance system, a musical instrument tuned to the frequencies of manifested totality. He spent years developing equipment capable of detecting vibrations too subtle for conventional instruments. His laboratories combined cutting-edge technology with deep intuition about how living systems actually function. During his investigations, Bentov noticed something extraordinary in the data. When he simultaneously monitored multiple body systems, cardiovascular, respiratory, nervous, lymphatic, he discovered they all oscillated in harmonic proportions. It was as if the entire body were an orchestra playing a symphony, where each instrument maintained precise mathematical relationships with all the others. But the truly disturbing discovery came when he compared these proportions with cosmological phenomena. The same mathematical ratios appeared in planetary rotation, in the pulsation of variable stars, in the periodicity of solar cycles. To understand Bentov's revolutionary work, we first need to go back in time. Long before quantum physics, long before electron microscopes and field equations, there was an enigmatic phrase inscribed on the emerald tablet of Hermes Trismegistus: as above, so below, as within, so without. For centuries, this was considered obscure mysticism, the kind of language alchemists use to confuse the uninitiated. But Hermes wasn't speaking in code. He was describing a fundamental law of nature that modern science would take 2,000 years to rediscover. As above, so below means the patterns governing galaxies are the same patterns governing atoms. The laws ruling planetary systems are the same laws ruling cellular systems. The structure of the entire cosmos is mirrored in the structure of the smallest grain of sand. This isn't philosophy. It's fractal geometry. Look at a fern. Observe how each small leaf replicates the shape of the entire frond, and each smaller division of the leaf repeats the same pattern again. You can zoom in infinitely and still see the same basic form repeating. That's a fractal, a structure where the part contains the design of the whole. Now look at a snowflake under magnification. 6 main arms, each branching into identical patterns, each smaller branch repeating the same hexagonal symmetry. The microscope reveals that even in the tiniest ice structures the pattern persists. Fractals aren't just beautiful, they're efficient. Nature uses fractal geometry to maximize surface area in minimal space. Your lungs are fractal, with bronchi branching into progressively smaller bronchioles, creating enough area for gas exchange that, if unrolled, would cover a tennis court. Your circulatory system is fractal, with arteries dividing into arterioles and then capillaries, reaching every cell without wasting space. Your nervous system is fractal, neurons branching into dendrites that create communication networks of impossible density and linear architecture. Bentov realized the human body follows the same principle. His microscopy experiments revealed that each cell contains DNA, and this DNA isn't just a set of instructions for that specific cell. It's the complete blueprint of the entire organism. A skin cell contains the code to build eyes, neurons, bones, organs, every system. The total information is present in each fragment. The part literally contains the whole. This isn't metaphor, it's molecular biology. But here's where Bentov's research becomes truly disturbing. He questioned, if each cell contains the total blueprint of the body, what exactly is being expressed when the cell functions? The conventional answer is that specific genes are turned on while others remain dormant. A skin cell expresses keratin genes, a muscle cell expresses actin and myosin genes. But the complete information is always present. This means that at a fundamental level, each fragment of your body knows how to be the entire body. Differentiation is a local choice of expression, not a limitation of available information. Bentov took this logic further. If total information is present in each part at the biological level, why would this principle stop at the skin boundary? Why would the fractal pattern extend from atoms to organs, but mysteriously cease at the complete organism? The most parsimonious hypothesis, the explanation requiring the fewest assumptions, was that the pattern continues. The entire organism is a part containing information about the larger system, the ecosystem. The ecosystem is a part containing information about the planet. The planet is a part containing information about the solar system, and so on, in ever larger scales, until encompassing the entire cosmos. But Bentov went beyond biology. He asked himself, if this fractal principle governs life at the cellular level, could it also govern at the level of reality itself? Could the entire cosmos be structured like a giant hologram, where each point in space contains information about all other points? To answer this, he needed to understand what a hologram really is. A hologram isn't a photograph. A photograph captures light reflected from an object and records that light on flat film. If you cut a photograph in half, you get half the image. But a hologram works through interference patterns. When two coherent light beams intersect, they create a wave pattern that overlaps, forming areas of high and low intensity. This interference pattern contains complete three-dimensional information about the illuminated object. The extraordinary property of a hologram is this: if you cut a hologram in half, each half still contains the complete image of the original object. You can divide it into quarters, into hundredths, and each fragment still retains the total information, just with less resolution. The part contains the whole. Bentov realized this wasn't just an optical curiosity, it was a clue about the fundamental structure of reality. Think about what this means for the concept of location. In a photograph, each point in the image corresponds to a specific point in the photographed object. Information is distributed spatially, each part containing only information about that part. But in a hologram, each point contains information about the entire object. Information isn't distributed spatially, it's distributed throughout the entire structure. There's no location where the information about the nose is stored separately from the information about the ear. All information is everywhere simultaneously. Bentov began measuring wave patterns in the human body with extremely sensitive instruments. He recorded heart oscillations, not just as beats, but as mechanical waves traveling through tissues and fluids. He discovered the heart creates pressure waves that propagate through the circulatory system at specific frequencies. about 7 to 8 cycles per second. These waves aren't random. They resonate with the body's physical structure, creating patterns of harmonic vibration. The heart, Bentov discovered, isn't just a pump. It's an oscillator, a rhythm generator that synchronizes multiple systems. When the left ventricle contracts, it launches a pressure wave through the aorta. This wave travels at approximately 4 meters per second, bouncing off arterial walls, creating return waves that interfere with outgoing waves. The resulting pattern is complex but not chaotic. It's highly ordered, with harmonics that mathematically relate to each other. Bentov measured these waves not just in major arteries, but in tiny capillaries in the skin, fingers, and scalp. He discovered the wave pattern was present throughout the body, but with local variations based on each region's specific geometry. It was exactly like a hologram, where the total pattern is present in each part, but with local modulations that preserve information about that part's relative position within the whole. When Bentov measured brain waves during deep meditation states, he found something surprising. The same frequencies the heart produced appeared in the brain. 7 to 8 hertz, the frequency known as alpha waves, the state of relaxed alertness. But it didn't stop there. These frequencies also corresponded to resonances detected in Earth's ionosphere, the electrically charged atmospheric layer enveloping the planet. They corresponded to Schumann resonances, the natural electromagnetic frequencies generated by global storms and Earth's own rotation. Schumann resonances are electromagnetic waves trapped between Earth's surface and the ionosphere, bouncing around the planet. The fundamental frequency is approximately 7.83 Hz, remarkably close to the human brain's alpha frequency. Bentov questioned, is this coincidence, or did the brain evolve to resonate with the planetary electromagnetic field? And what if resonance isn't coincidence, but deliberate tuning? The human body was literally vibrating in harmony with the planet, and the planet was vibrating in harmony with electromagnetic fields extending throughout the solar system. Bentov was documenting a hierarchy of interference patterns mirroring each other at all scales. Each level contained information about all other levels. The fractal structure wasn't just biological, it was cosmic. But Bentov didn't stop at measurements. He wanted to understand the mechanism. How exactly do these patterns mirror across such different scales? The answer, he discovered, lay in the nature of waves themselves. Waves aren't things. Waves are information propagating through a medium. An ocean wave isn't water moving horizontally across the ocean. It's energy moving through water, making each molecule oscillate vertically. Information about the wave, its frequency, amplitude, phase, travels through the medium, but the medium itself remains relatively stationary. David Bohm, the quantum physicist who worked with Einstein, reached similar conclusions by a completely different path. Bohm was trying to solve quantum mechanics paradoxes, particularly the phenomenon of entanglement, where two particles remain instantaneously correlated no matter how distant they are. This violated classical physics, which said nothing can travel faster than light. How could two particles separated by light years know each other's state instantaneously? Bohm proposed that reality has two layers. There's the explicate order, the manifest world of separate objects we see and touch. And there's the implicate order, an underlying field of entangled information where all apparent separations are illusory. In the implicate order, nothing is truly separate. Everything is an unfolding of a unified field. What we perceive as distinct objects and events are like waves in the ocean, apparently separate, but all expressions of the same water. Bohm's implicate order wasn't mystical speculation. It was rigorous mathematics derived from quantum mechanics equations. He demonstrated that if you take the equations seriously, Without trying to force them to conform with common sense intuitions about how reality should work, you inevitably arrive at a unified field description where locality is an illusion. Particles aren't truly separated in space. They're local excitations in a non-local field extending throughout the entire cosmos. Bentov read Bohm and recognized his own research. The human body, with its resonant wave patterns, wasn't an isolated object floating in a void. It was a ripple in the implicate order, a temporary concentration of information containing patterns from the entire tapestry of existence. Each cell, each atom in your body was participating in a vast information matrix extending throughout the entire cosmos. The convergence between Bentov's and Bohm's work is extraordinary because they came from opposite directions. Bohm started with pure mathematics, with the abstract equations of quantum mechanics and derived implications about reality's nature. Bentov started with concrete measurements of biological systems and discovered patterns requiring a radical reinterpretation of the relationship between organism and environment. Both arrived at the same conclusion. The apparent separation between observer and observed, between inside and outside, between part and whole, is an artifact of limited perception, not a fundamental feature of reality. But Bentov took an even more radical step. He applied the holographic model not just to the physical body, but to the field of human awareness. The brain, he argued, doesn't generate the field of awareness like an engine generates motion. The brain is a receiver, a decoder, a reader of an information field that exists independently. Just as a television doesn't create the programs it displays, only decodes them from electromagnetic signals, the brain doesn't create non-local perception. It only translates it from a universal field. This idea was heretical in conventional neuroscience, which treated the field of awareness as an epiphenomenon, a byproduct of neuronal activity with no independent reality. But Bentov had evidence. He had measured correlations between altered awareness states and changes in ambient electromagnetic fields that couldn't be explained by local causality. When meditators entered deep absorption states, instruments detected subtle changes in energy fields around them, changes that preceded the alterations in brainwaves, didn't follow them. This suggested the field of awareness wasn't produced by the brain, but accessed through the brain. The field existed first, and neuronal activity was a response to changes in the field, not their cause. It was as if the brain were an antenna tuning to specific frequencies of a universal information field, and what we call thought, perception, awareness were the decoded signals. This explained phenomena conventional materialist neuroscience couldn't explain. How do people with massive brain damage sometimes maintain intact memories? How is information accessed in near-death experiences when the brain is clinically inactive? How do contemplative practices produce insights about reality's nature that transcend personal experience? If the field of awareness is a universal field and the brain is just a local receiver, then damaging the receiver doesn't destroy the information. It only limits access to it. Bentov tested this hypothesis by measuring correlations between deep meditation states and measurable physical phenomena. He discovered that when experienced meditators entered deep absorption states, their brainwave patterns synchronized not just internally, but with ambient electromagnetic fields. It was as if the brain were tuning to specific frequencies of the universal information field, the same way a radio tunes to a specific station. The experiments were meticulous. Bentov isolated meditators in electrically shielded chambers, eliminating all possible external interference. He measured brain waves, heart rate variability, skin temperature, electrical resistance, even tiny magnetic fields generated by neuronal activity. And he discovered something consistent. As meditation deepened, as the meditator reported dissolution of boundaries between self and environment, between observer and observed, the wave patterns became progressively more coherent. Different brain regions began oscillating in perfect synchrony. Heart and brain entered resonance, and the magnetic fields measured around the meditator's head began mirroring the Schumann resonances of the planetary field. He went even further. Bentov proposed that different awareness states correspond to different frequency bands in this field. Ordinary waking perception tunes to a narrow band of frequencies corresponding to physical objects and events in the immediate environment. Meditative states tune to different bands, accessing information unavailable to normal senses. Altered states induced by trauma, psychedelic drugs, or sensory deprivation tune to still other bands, sometimes accessing information that seems to come from outside linear time. What does this mean? It means you are not your biography. You are not your memories, your thoughts, your emotions. These are just the frequencies your brain receiver is tuning to in this moment. The real you, the quantum observer witnessing all this, is the field of awareness itself, the field permeating the entire cosmos. You're not having an experience of the cosmos. You are the cosmos having a human experience. Think about this. Not quickly, not superficially. Really consider what this implies. If each cell of your body contains the complete genetic code for the entire organism, and if each cell is vibrating in harmony with frequencies traversing galaxies, then in what sense are you small? In what sense are you insignificant? In what sense are you just a speck of awareness lost in a vast, indifferent cosmos? You're not a speck. You are the point through which the entire cosmos is observing itself in this moment. When you look at the stars, it's not a tiny human looking at distant objects. It's the cosmos looking into its own depths through human eyes. When you feel wonder, gratitude, awe, it's not a personal emotion. It's manifested totality recognizing its own magnificence through a human nervous system. Bentov described this as multiple perspective reality. Imagine the cosmos is a giant diamond with countless facets. Each facet reflects the entire gem from a unique angle. Each facet contains the complete image, but from a distinct perspective. You are one of those facets. You contain the total information, but express it from a singular viewpoint. Billions of other human beings are other facets, each reflecting the same totality from slightly different angles. Animals, plants, rocks, planets, stars, all are facets of the same diamond. But here's what's truly radical about this vision. It means when you interact with another person, you're not interacting with a separate other. You're interacting with the entire cosmos through another form. When you cause suffering, you're causing suffering to yourself, seen from another angle. When you offer love, you're offering love to yourself in a different form. There is no they, there is no other. There is only the silent witness experiencing itself through an infinity of temporary disguises. This doesn't dissolve personal responsibility. In fact, it makes it absolute. Each action you take is the entire cosmos acting through you. Each choice has consequences rippling through the complete information matrix. You can't hide behind, "I'm just one insignificant person. My actions don't matter." Your actions are the actions of manifested totality. You are infinitely significant because you are significance itself. It also doesn't dissolve individuality. You're still you. Your unique perspective, your life story, your preferences and peculiarities are real. They're simply not all that you are. You are simultaneously an individual wave and the entire ocean. You are a specific facet and the complete diamond. Both are true. The question is, which identity will you inhabit moment to moment? Most people live exclusively in wave identity. I am this body. I am this story. I am this name and this reputation. I am separate from you, separate from the world, a fragment trying to survive in an indifferent cosmos. This identity creates constant fear because individual waves are fragile. They arise and disappear. They can be destroyed, nullified, forgotten. But Bentov is offering another identity available to you right now. You are also the ocean. You are also the field of awareness, witnessing the arising and disappearing of all waves. In this identity, there is no death because you were never born. There is no loss because you contain everything. There is no fear because there's nothing outside you that can threaten you. You are the tapestry of existence, playing an elaborate game of hide and seek with yourself. How do you access this broader identity? Bentov, always the practical scientist, offered concrete methods. Meditation practices that synchronize brainwaves with planetary resonances. Breathing techniques that harmonize cardiac rhythms with cosmic patterns. Visualization exercises that train the brain to tune to different frequency bands in the universal information field. He documented all of this meticulously, measuring changes in electroencephalograms, heart rate variability, galvanic skin response. But you don't need laboratory instruments. You don't need sophisticated techniques. You can start now, in this moment, with something absurdly simple. This is the mental key Bentov offers, the practice that can change your experience of being human instantly. Look at your hand, not quickly, really look. See the lines, the folds, the subtle movement of muscles beneath skin. Now remember what you just learned. Each cell in that hand contains the complete genetic code for the entire organism. Each atom is vibrating at frequencies that resonate with electromagnetic fields traversing galaxies. The fabric of the entire real is present in this fragment of flesh. You're not looking at a small part of you. You're looking at the entire cosmos expressed in hand form. This hand contains information of stars being born, black holes devouring light, spiral galaxies spinning through the void. Everything is here, compressed into a fractal structure so dense it appears finite, but is actually infinite in information. Now expand this. Your entire body is like this. Your brain is like this. Your non-local perception is like this. You're not small. You're infinite, pretending to be finite for a time. You're the entire cosmos, practicing being human. And when you die, what really happens? The individual wave dissolves back into the ocean, but the ocean never ceased to exist. The information contained in your unique perspective is absorbed back into the universal information matrix, and the cosmos continues observing itself through trillions of other forms. Bentov died in 1979 in a plane crash. But if his theories are correct, and scientific evidence strongly suggests they are, then Bentov didn't disappear. The individual perspective he temporarily inhabited dissolved. But the quantum observer looking through Bentov's eyes is the same observer looking through your eyes now. You and Bentov are the same silent witness, experiencing different forms at different times. And this isn't science fiction. It's not fantasy. It's applied physics taken to its logical conclusions. It's what happens when you truly follow the evidence, when you measure interference patterns at all scales and recognize they mirror each other perfectly. The part contains the whole. You contain the cosmos. The cosmos contains you. There is no inside and outside. There is only one field of entangled data manifesting in infinite complexity. So what do you do with this information? How do you live knowing you're simultaneously an individual person with problems and responsibilities, and also the fabric of the entire real experiencing itself? Bentov would say, you live more lightly. You stop taking your personal story so deadly seriously. You recognize that everything happening to you, all triumphs and tragedies, are just the cosmos playing with different possibilities through this particular form. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care without desperate attachment. You do your best, not because you need to prove your worth, but because you are manifested totality, expressing creativity through human actions. You love people, not because you need something from them, but because when you look at them, you're literally looking at yourself through a different disguise. How can you not love that? And when bad things happen, as they inevitably do, you have a larger perspective. You recognize the individual wave may suffer, but the ocean is untouchable. The body may feel pain, but the field of awareness witnessing the pain isn't hurt by the pain. You can simultaneously fully feel the human experience and remain anchored in the broader identity that cannot be threatened. This is the revolution Bentov offers. It's not a revolution of technology or politics. It's a revolution of identity. It's the realization, supported by rigorous scientific evidence, that you are far vaster than you were taught to believe. You are a walking interference pattern, a breathing fractal structure, a point through which the entire cosmos is observing its own magnificence. So, next time you feel small, insignificant, lost in the indifferent cosmos, remember Bentov. Remember the experiments, the measurements, the equations proving something impossible. You're not in the cosmos. You are the cosmos, and you always have been.